Hey to all my kings and queens, Project X TV presents Lockdown Talks, my story, where we are telling the individual story and experiences, hoping that this is relatable and informative to anyone who's listening. I am your host, Dara Mathra. But before we even get into it, please like, subscribe, and share the video, period. Come on now. You know what to do. But let's get into it. This is the music edition, so I have with me a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch, but, some some people over here who love music, listen to, music, have a relationship with music, and can share their experience as a Black individual with music and all of that stuff. So guys, introduce yourselves. Again, tell us your name and what your favorite genre of music is and why.
Okay, so my name's Jade, and I would say my favorite genre is either hip hop or R&B, just because that's what I grew up listening to and that's what I can relate to the most. And it's just what I like the best.
Makes sense. All right, Marcus, tell us.
My name is Marcus. My favorite genre, I would say I don't have a favorite genre, actually. I used to be rap and hip hop till I got out of high school and started listening to a lot of different genres. Like, I'm talking deep into any genre you could think of, deep into rock music, reggae music, indies, even a little bit of country music. That's my least favorite genre. But my playlists are basically a combination of a whole bunch of genres. And if I was to make a distinction of one genre that I like the most, I couldn't.
Wow. Okay. What do you listen to the most then?
We'd have to get some stats out. I don't know. You have to ask Apple.
All right. I got you. All right.
My name is Dominic. Everybody calls me Dom. Music has been a huge part of my life in general. I'm in the same boat as Marcus in the sense that I don't have one particular genre of music. Like, I play a lot of different instruments. So for me to just stick to one kind of genre kind of limits my ability to play any particular instrument. But yeah, it's like at any given time, I can be listening to any given music. Like, I can wake up in the morning and start with one genre and end the day with another one. Like, I don't have one specific kind. I'll go from like classical music to rock to hip hop to R&B to soul to Latin to like everything. Like, I don't have one specific genre that I can say stands out as my favorite, to be honest.
Okay, I hear you guys. So, growing up, what role did music play in your home, and even currently?
Say Jade, go.
Okay. Go for it.
I would say gospel probably had the most importance in my household growing up because, like Sunday or Saturday morning when you hear gospel music, you already know what's going on. You're cleaning the house. And just because, again, growing up Christian, like my mom, that would be the music that my mom would play. So that's what I grew up listening to. And then I would say maybe like old school reggae because then my dad, that's all he would play. Like, I would hear a song now and I'd be like, I know the song from when I was 8 because I heard my dad listening to it.
Yeah.
No cap.
But facts, right? And then now I would say in my life now, like listening to gospel, reggae, and then like I was saying earlier, hip hop and R&B and other types of genres. Maybe not as much as I would say are the main ones that I listen to. It really affects how your mood could go. Like, you could be in a terrible mood and then just hear your song or hear a song and it could brighten your day.
100%.
Music,
100%.
yeah. I'm sure all of us here can agree that music can help us get through tough times. It helps us celebrate better times. So
for me, music is everything. My entire life, everything to me. Without music, I don't know what my life would be. Growing up, I started playing piano at 4. I was forced to go to piano lessons, and I excelled really well in piano. And I was put into theory classes, into harmony. And then as I got to high school, that's when I started learning just a whole abundance of instruments. And now that has allowed me to be better in my academics. It's taught me a lot of personality traits that have helped me become successful. And it has also opened me up to a bunch of genres, or allowed me to be open to a bunch of genres, which kind of, I believe that the music that you listen to can mirror your perception of the world. So, you know, if you you have a very homogenous taste in music, you know, you only listen to a certain cohort of artists, then, you know, I believe that um, you have to broaden your horizon, kind of, you know. Just for me, like, yeah, being able to listen to a bunch of genres just stemming from, you know, how much music has taught me throughout my childhood.
Yeah.
It's good. And music for me growing up and even now is just like everything.
100%.
I'm not gonna lie, Marcus, we're in the same boat. Like, I started piano when I was like, my parents started me with piano when I was 3 years old. So I'm pretty close to you. Like, I did the music I started with piano when I was 3 years old. My parents were like, music, you know, first thing to keep him occupied so he doesn't get in trouble, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so they started me with piano, like, even to the point where my parents were also the kind of parents were like, Mozart makes babies smart. So there's from the time I was born, there's classical music like Kenny G, Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, all of that, Vivaldi, like
my
all that kind of music.
My throat too.
Exactly. Like, my parents were playing that from the time I was born, and then as soon as they can get me onto an instrument, they started me with piano when I was 3 years old, and then when I got into middle school, like, I was like, piano's kind of a chore now. Let me pick up something else. So, like, we had band when I was back in middle school. So I was like, all right, let me pick up the drums. Couldn't get the drums. So then I started playing the clarinet and loved the clarinet after I started learning it. And my sister eventually picked up the flute. So I was like, you know what? Let me just dabble in the flute a little bit one time.
And you find the same thing.
Yeah, then, like, as soon as I could jump into another instrument as well, then I jumped into the drums. From the drums I did guitar, and then I was like, you know what, let's pick up another, like, I won't say woodwind, but another, like, I guess, brass instrument. So I picked up the saxophone, so the alto and tenor sax, and then I did like I said, I was doing guitar, so I did acoustic, electric, bass guitar. Like, music has always been a huge part of my life, and I guess it's all because my parents were like, Mozart makes babies smart, then let's throw him on the piano and see where that goes from there.
Did you ever feel pressured, or have you ever felt pressured to listen to certain genres to feel more connected to Black culture?
Definitely. I would say, like, trap music. Like, honestly, I can't stand trap music. It's just something about it that's annoying, I guess. That's just my opinion.
I hear you.
But yeah, and then, you know, like, being Black, it's a Black genre, so that's what people our age and people that's what people listen to. And then it's like, you know, when you're on aux and if you don't play something, that's good enough.
I know.
Like how they joke about that. Yeah, I would just say that there is some sort of pressure to, you know, like, listen to the type of music that is stereotypical, but
yeah,
I don't like it. I'm not gonna listen to it.
I know, I hear you.
I feel that too. I feel like in all the genres I listen to, I don't see a lot of talent in trap music either. It's like one of those things that you look at and you say, if I can do that, then it's not talent. And anybody can. Any of us can, you know, make a beat in the studio, a simple beat that has, you know, no harmonic background, and put together a few bars of words that, you know,
kind of rhyme.
You know, cat in the hat words, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, I remember back in the day, I used to like trap music, and then those songs that I liked back then, I still like to this day, but my love for trap music has kind of diminished as I got into other genres and realized that there's more instrumental talent out there. One other genre I want to say that I've always felt pressured to like as a Black individual is dancehall. Now, dancehall, I feel like, is not an accurate depiction of, and I'll talk in Jamaican regard, it's not an accurate depiction of Jamaican culture.
Okay,
I feel
that's
like,
good. Okay.
Like, if you ask your parents, you know, they think of dancehall, and they'll tell you, they'll speak through the same lens as me. But I feel like, just not an accurate depiction of Jamaican culture at all. But it does bump, you know, at parties and whatnot. But that's the only time I really bump it.
So why do you feel like there's such a thing as quote unquote Black music when Black people have been diverse in musical genres and ultimately originated a lot of quote unquote white music?
I would say because, like, with everything else, Black people are pushed out of what we created and boxed into what everyone expects us to be. So although like what you said, a lot, or not even a lot, all of the music that we have today originated from something that came from Africa and then evolved
Exactly.
over the years. And because of stereotypes and everything that's happened, I feel that certain groups of people have kind of taken what they felt to be acceptable and then pushed Black people out of that and then made Black music.
I was gonna say I can follow along the lines with that in terms of like I think the media hugely shapes it as well. Like you think about like a lot of the violence that you see in media, and then the kind of music that people associate with Black people in the media when it comes to violence, and then it kind of like proliferates that idea that like rap and hip hop, you talk about sex, drugs, and alcohol all the time in these songs. And they're the same people that are quote unquote showing up in the media as doing bad things and whatnot. So like proliferates through that kind of thing. Like there's a lot of different artists who are like classical artists that you don't know about that are Black, jazz artists that don't tend to like get as much headway as your big rap names like Drake, Lil Wayne, Migos, all that kind of stuff, who are all just associated with rap music. Like the type of lifestyle that those certain individuals who like are classical artists or jazz artists who are other genres of music, rock artists and so on and so forth, the type of lifestyle that they live doesn't really show up in the media as much as say you're like your Met Gala rappers kind of thing, or you're like red carpet like hip hop R&B singers kind of thing. So that I'd say media has a huge role in playing in that, to be honest.
I would say like when you're like just to piggyback off of what you're saying, I feel like they choose what they want to fit a narrative. So anybody can pick certain pictures out of a story or certain pages out of a book to fit the story that they want to tell, right? So I feel like that's exactly what's going on, because if you look at different types of rock music or, you know, other genres of music that may be considered white, it's not like they necessarily preach the most holier than thou message either. Like it's kind of almost the same thing. A lot of secular music in general preaches sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever. I feel like it's just always associated with music that people usually associate with Black culture. So Marcus, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think for me, as times change, I feel like the definition of Black music changes as well. Because, you know, you think 50, 60 years ago, Black music wasn't necessarily about crime, right? It was about struggle. It was more soulful. It was really different, you know, instrumentally speaking. I feel like today, when someone says Black music to me, I don't automatically think about rap. There are a lot of genres out there that are dominated by Black people, but I feel like the reason why people think that the term Black music automatically alludes to rap music is because rap music today is not just rap music anymore. It's not rap music at all anymore, actually. It's just pop culture now. It's pop culture because what rappers are doing now is they're finding out exactly what everybody wants, putting it out there, even though it doesn't require much work, it doesn't require much artistic talent. And these people just so happen to be Black people.
Yeah.
Right? I don't hear people talking about, or it's not that common anymore, where, you know, rappers are talking about, you know, their struggle or talking about, you know, something that needs to be heard. You know, it's not as meaningful now. It's just about what people want to hear.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So yeah, for me, it's a weird area now because I wouldn't call it Black music because not everybody that likes it now is Black. It's just the people that are kind of running the show. But at the same time, there are so many genres out there that are you know, just as good. In some opinions, might be better, and are also just as Black people dominate those genres just as much. It's just that it's not pop culture, and it's not as, you know, exasperated to everybody. So unfortunately, it falls under the radar as something that can be defined as Black music.
And when we're even talking about pop culture, a lot of these hip hop concerts that you'll go to by popular artists, a lot of the times that's why like a lot of the times I remember someone told me that they went to, I forgot the artist's name, but they went to his concert and they said like they saw almost no Black people there, and they weren't even trying to exaggerate.
Sure, yeah, trust me, or
But
Odd
like,
Future or something.
exactly. But guys, thank you so much again for coming back, because you know you guys all came back. So thank you so much for taking the time to come back out. Again, it means a lot to me, the project, the community. Thank you to everyone who came in and tuned in and watched. Please continue to like, subscribe, share, and comment all over this video. You know the drill already. Black power, black love, and let's keep talking. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.